So I've made 2 cancelled superhero movies videos so far, and they are some of my most popular videos. So I thought, why not make another? Because there are actually still a ton of cancelled superhero movie projects to talk about. So many, in fact, that I might actually make another one of these. But let's keep on track and talk about these films that never quite made it. Starting off with the Batman Beyond movie, which I briefly touched on in my previous video, but here I want to go into more detail. This was going to be released around 2000, 2001, and it would follow the basic premise of the Batman Beyond animated show, where a guy called Terry McGinnis would become the new Batman in the near-ish future under the supervision of an older Bruce Wayne. Paul Dini and Alan Burnett, who co-created and did a lot of work on the show, wanted to make an actual live-action film out of the concept, and wrote a first draft of the script around summer 2001. Boaz Yakin, who directed Remember the Titans and Max, really liked the show and had showed interest in directing. He described the film thusly: "It was almost like Sam Raimi's Spider-Man, but a little bit darker, a teenage, kind of futuristic, cyberpunk Batman thing." Also, apparently, Robbie Amell has said over the years he'd like to be part of a Batman Beyond film. You'll know Robbie Amell as Firestorm on The Flash, and yeah, I can see that working. However, this was put on indefinite hold after Batman and Robin came out, and Warner Brothers was rapidly scrambling to try to get Batman back to not being terrible again. Honestly, based on all this information, this doesn't sound that bad. I personally like Batman Beyond quite a lot, and I think the writers and director could have probably turned in something pretty solid. There was also a Batman vs. Superman movie that was going to come out around 2003, 2004, but that's a whole other story, and it would take too much time to talk about in this video. So, if you want to hear about that, Mr. Sunny Movies has a great video on it that you can check out by clicking the link down below. It's informative and super funny, and it explains it better than I could, so check it out. Alright, let's move on to some Marvel stuff now. Firstly, there's Peyton Reed's Fantastic Four movie from 2003. Peyton Reed, in case you don't know, is the director of Ant-Man, and is also a massive fan of the Fantastic Four. Peyton Reed eventually left the project though, saying, "The environment at Fox in 2003 was very different to the environment at Marvel in 2015. Fox at that time had a very specific idea. They wanted to pitch it much younger than I wanted to, and I always felt like they were treating those characters like B-level characters. I never felt like they understood the real strength of that property." Which, side note, is something to this day that I think I could also agree with Peyton Reed on. Now this movie eventually went on to become the 2005 Fantastic Four, and yeah, you can see how that was pitched to a younger audience. Reed's vision apparently would have also been a lot like the Avengers, also featuring a huge climactic battle in Manhattan. Really, there isn't enough information for me to judge if this would have been good or not, but in all honesty, it probably would have been a lot better than what we ended up getting. Next up is Doctor Strange by Guillermo del Toro, scheduled for release around summer 2007. This would have had Neil Gaiman writing, who you'll know from stuff like Coraline, Sandman, and American Gods. The basic story behind this film getting made was the Hellboy film caught the attention of both Marvel and Gaiman, who then sought del Toro to work on something for them. However, del Toro dropped out because he had signed on to direct The Hobbit, which funnily enough also didn't work out for him. Also, apparently, Marvel didn't really like what Gaiman and del Toro were pitching, and lost interest over time. Gaiman also dropped off the project due to del Toro dropping out, again saying that Marvel just didn't have a ton of interest. This probably would have been great. Solid director for this kind of film, solid writer for this kind of film, probably would have been a lot of fun. I am, however, kind of glad that this didn't happen, because if it had, we wouldn't have had the Scott Derrickson version we got, which, as most of you know, I thought was fantastic. Okay, finally, let's talk about Quentin Tarantino's Iron Man. Now this is a movie that a lot of people wanted me to talk about, and sure, I can see why this sounds like an interesting idea, but honestly, there's not much to this. In the late-ish 90s, Fox came to Tarantino and asked him if he wanted to make a movie adaptation for them. Tarantino was a pretty big fan of the character, so it seemed like a good fit, but it just never went anywhere. Tarantino dropped out of it, maybe because he doesn't generally make movies with characters that he hasn't created. Regardless, the film never came to fruition, and the rights to the character were sold just a few weeks later. Also, just 2 other tidbits regarding this. 1, the Muppetiest of Muppet Men, Tom Cruise, was in talks to play the character. 90s Tom Cruise is Tony Stark. I don't really think that would work, but I'd like to see it. And 2, Tarantino has also talked about wanting to make a Luke Cage film in the past, potentially with Lawrence Fishburne as Luke Cage, which, a Tarantino Luke Cage movie? Yeah, that sounds pretty awesome. So those were some more cancelled superhero movies. Would you have liked to see any of these? Let me know all of your thoughts down below in the comments. While you're at it, be sure to like this video, check out my Instagram and Twitter at BHL_Hudson, and subscribe for more videos like the one you just watched. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.